Hey guys, haven't done a vlog in a while, and first I want to give a shout out to David Kim for sending me the shirt, Korean Iron. Okay, so again, Korean Iron, I'll link below for the shirts if you want them. But anyways, today I want to talk about online credibility, and in this day of YouTube especially, you have so many lifters trying to start a channel, and to me, I would say the vast majority of the especially the powerlifting YouTube channels are trash or garbage. First of all, a lot of these young kids, they don't have the experience, and they don't have the, I guess, the roundabout experience or knowledge when it comes to powerlifting. Because I know when I was starting powerlifting, I didn't know much, and I didn't start a YouTube channel right away. And again, this was even before YouTube was around. So I'll just take an example from my own story. So I started powerlifting in 2004, started posting videos in 2006. So YouTube was primarily just a training vlog for my own training, for my own reference. So again, I would just keep posting videos, plugging away. And during that time frame, so from 2004 to now 2015, I'm just gradually accumulating knowledge over that time span. So the problem is, if you have a lifter that's just starting, and number one, they haven't competed nationally, they haven't thoroughly have gone through many references, or asking questions to from a lot of different sources, then what you have is mostly a product of them I guess taking information from other YouTubers who don't have a lot of experience to begin with, and then just share information. So like big thing that I don't like personally is a lot of YouTubers when they're squatting, they're looking straight down. Again, it just doesn't translate to a good squat if you're looking down. It's not going to help you in any way. If you're looking down for deadlift as well, it's not going to help you in any way. I mean, to me, it's common sense, because I've gone through so many videos. I've got so many lifters, what their opinion is, and how they set up their squat or their deadlift, their technique, and all that. And again, for me, I model all my my training and my technique based on lifters that I deem to have the most efficient technique. So it really is an issue, I believe, with YouTube, because just the credibility factor for so many lifters is so low. So if you're squatting like 225 pounds, or if you're barely pulling 275, or you're barely benching 135, I mean, you really don't have a voice to relay reliable information to other lifters. I think the criteria for a YouTuber to have credibility is, number one, they have years and years of experience. Number two, they've consulted with other sources. They've gone internationally to pull information from, not just the internet. I'm talking about actual hands-on experience. And number three would be actual competition experience, and even more so. I mean, it doesn't have to be national or international, but at least locally. And again, you have manipulated your body weight, or what peaking strategies you need to get into the meet, or to do well the meet. That is something that is absolutely crucial for a good, credible YouTube lifter. If you don't have these three things, then it's going to affect your credibility. So back to my point number three, if you have local competition, again, nowadays it's actually, at least for the USAPL, it's very easy to get into the national competition because the qualifying totals are so low. But again, even for raw nationals, it's laughable how low the total is. If you have that national experience, then I think also adds another layer of credibility. Because usually for nationals, if it's the annual event for you, then it's 100% likely that you'll be traveling to these meets. You'll be able to gauge how travel will be affecting your performance, what you have to do to prepare yourself to compete nationally, especially after a long plane ride, how you situate yourself to the environment where you are competing. It gives you that much more credibility if you are competing nationally and you understand how to compete when you're not in your comfort zone. In Maryland, we were fortunate enough to have a venue that's in Columbia, Maryland, so that's fairly a good place for Maryland lifters to commute to. So it may range from 30 to 40 minutes driving, and that's nothing. So you have the comfort of sleeping in your own bed, you have the comfort of eating your own food, and you just have a more comfortable environment. And most likely, if you're competing many times at the same venue, you're going to know the same people, you're going to know the same judges, and so forth. However, if you compete nationally, you're going to be at a strange venue, the most likely venue that you haven't been before. You're going to have a lot more strict judging because you have the national judging, and sometimes they're IPF Category 2 or IPF Category 1 judges, and you'll have a lot more stringency and a lot more strictness when they are evaluating your lifts. So normally, sometimes when I get a lift pass at the local level, then sometimes it won't be passed on the national or international level. However, it should be fairly consistent, but you'll notice that when you go to national or international events, they probably won't give you the benefit of the doubt, because you'll be competing against the best lifters, and the best lifters know what type of depth to hit in the squat, and just in general, you'll be under a more watchful eye when you compete nationally or internationally. So those three things, again, just take with a grain of salt. If you have a lifter that's lifting for 1 year, then they try to dispense advice, and they really haven't gone through adversity as far as plateaus in training, or more importantly, injuries. So if you have a lifter that hasn't been lifting that long and they haven't really experienced adversity in training, then for me, I just question how much they are vested into powerlifting and if they can continue on. So just the experience is so important. Just plowing through the injuries. Also knowing yourself and how to program for yourself. So that's very, very important. For example, if you have a lifter that I have online coaching available, and how much, again, this credibility really comes into play. So number one, you'll look at their lifting resume, and is the lifting resume impressive? It doesn't have to be impressive as far as online coaching. Number one, you'll have to look at their lifting resume. So they don't necessarily have to be super strong, but you want to see a trend as far as how they've improved over the years. So if you have a continuous trend and they know how to do their training leading up to the meet, and they have a good success rate at their own competitions, then that's a good sign. And number two would be to see how they have improved their clients' performance. So if they have videos of their lifters from point A to point B, and you see that their technique has improved, and number two, how much their total has improved, then again, that's a good sign. And I know for me personally, I don't, when I take on a client, I always ask for video, and for me, my actual questionnaire, it involves asking, oh, when is your competition date? Or I have clients that aren't necessarily competitive and have no desire to do a competition, but I still offer the service, and it's still gratifying to me if they improve their performance over with however they use me as a consultant for their training. So I think that's extremely important that you have the experience. Also, the coach should line up with the values of the trainee. So a non-drug user or a non-drug lifter employs a drug coach to do the powerlifting and their powerlifting training, and they don't compete in the same federation. I think that's a huge problem, because the coach that uses drugs or doesn't lift to the standards of the trainees federation, what's going to happen is I think there's going to be a disconnect as far as the type of advice that will be given, or the type of good advice that will be given to that point. So I would say the experience, the lifting resume. Number two, how much have they improved their clients? And number three is they line up with your values. So ideally, they will be competing in the same federation as you. It's something that you just have to watch out for, and you just have to be wary about how you are obtaining your information. And again, for myself, I always look at videos. I always ask international sources how they lift, and I have a fairly good idea of you know, just because of how many years I've been in powerlifting, how this works as far as I go, because you know I run all my programs, I do all my numbers, I do all my training, and a lot of it's intuitive, a lot of it's auto-regulated, but it's something that I've gained through the years of experience. So you know, I've gotten injuries, I've done so many competitions, so for me, I know how to peak for competitions, and sometimes it doesn't turn out well, sometimes it turns out well, but again, also the frequency in which I compete also plays a factor in that as well. But again, you just have to watch out for which YouTubers have credibility, and if they don't meet those three points or three criteria that I laid out, then I wouldn't take that channel too seriously. So that's it, guys, and hopefully you learned something. And again, thanks to Korean Iron, David Kim, for the shirt, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next vlog.